Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. Did y'all catch that flash crash we had a bit earlier today? My gosh, Bitcoin absolutely plummeted, leading the crypto pack. Pretty much everything followed, including XRP. And as happens with flash crashes, very quick rebound. I'll show you the charts at the beginning part of the video. It's impressive how quickly things can happen. And I'll tell you this too. Markets from that point in time anyway mostly recovered. Yes, there's technically, you could call it a sea of red, only in that most cryptos are down over the last 24 hours, but most of them not by much. XRP's down 0.84% over the past 24 hours, nothing big. But from that point, notable recovery from the bottom of that flash crash, and XRP recovered substantially better than Bitcoin actually. And also, let's have a little fun talking about potential XRP price action in the not too distant future. Now, for instance, my fellow XRP YouTuber, the Blockchain Backer, has noted that after XRP reaches a local bottom here, I don't know if we've already seen one, but he's noted perhaps we'll even see XRP in the 30-something cent region. But, once you're at that point, it may very well be the case that the next move to the upside will be the real one. The one that takes us far beyond the most recent high of 58 cents. And another well-known analyst in the XRP community is also expecting really big moves for XRP in the relatively near future, including one analyst who is anticipating, we may get back to the all-time high price region before the year is over, and we might not have to wait that long, rather, to see fireworks potentially getting well over $1 as soon as this summer hits. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, XRP is at 42 cents, Bitcoin is at $27,572, market cap for the asset class 1.15 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 46.24%. So really, for much of what we've been seeing for the past few weeks or so, it's not that, there hasn't been that much volatility. I mean, in terms of crypto, fine. There's not that much. If you compare it to any other asset class on the planet, it would seem extremely volatile. Here you got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 52 out of 100. So market participants not greedy anymore, but also not in fear, which is good because I don't sleep as well when those poor, lovable, cuddly little retail limbing idiot speculators, when they're feeling fearful, it hits me in the heart. You know what I mean, man? Take a look at these charts. So here is the flash crash. You can see absolutely, if you have human eyeballs, you can see exactly where it hit. So XRP was hovering around, 43.1 cents, and then at the bottom it looks like it hit 41.9 cents. And this was in a matter of, what? So that's 12 tens, 15 minutes. 15-minute time period. That's why it looks like a cliff. Now, since then, since it's a flash crash, and the nature of a flash crash is that it goes down real quick, but then recovers just about as fast. XRP is about where it was before that whole thing started. So that's a 24-hour chart of XRP on your screen, but now let's flip to the Bitcoin 24-hour chart. Here you can see at the same time, there the flash crash started, exact same time period, bottom at the exact same minute, and Bitcoin, it popped up out of there a bit, but not quite hasn't quite recovered from before that. And so the 24-hour high for Bitcoin, $28,382. And I saw this tweet from Santiment. They do all sorts of on-chain analytics and such. And I'm a big fan of Santiment. I always appreciate the firms that do on-chain analytics and then kind of break down the data and catch trends and stuff like that. Because I do think it's absolutely worth knowing as, an investor in crypto, how your fellow speculators behave. Because I'll tell you what, most of them, they really are just useful idiots. It's the emotional buying and selling. That is what most of them are. That's what it looks like to me anyway. And they're the people that cause volatility, which is the purpose of investing. So I do appreciate them. I'm only having a little fun in calling them useful idiots. But take a look at what Santiment had to say about this. And this is from just a couple hours or so ago. Crypto traders were panic selling today as Bitcoin fell to $27,100 hours ago. But prices have shown recovery signs. Time and time again, we see prices rise when FUD words like sell and bearish emerge. These moments generally are good buy opportunities. And again, it's this whole concept which just tends to ring true. Whatever the masses think makes the most sense, just do the opposite and you're probably good. And it doesn't mean that they're literally wrong exactly at that second. Things can take a long time to play out. So if the masses think that Bitcoin's going to keep going up, maybe they're correct for a number of weeks or months, so on and so forth, whatever the timeline may be. But you reach this inflection point where everybody just agrees, and when you get to that point, it's time to bail, generally speaking. Inevitably, that's what's going to happen. And so likewise, when you see just endless FUD comments and, hey, it's time to sell bearish, going to $12,000 for Bitcoin, perhaps when the majority believes that, perhaps we've hit the bottom or we're about to hit the bottom, and maybe things reverse. It's just, tale as old as time, my friends. Now take a look at this headline from the Crypto Basic. XRP reaches correction target. Price expected to hit $3.47. And they're talking about an analyst within the community who goes by the name Dark Defender, has over 86,000 followers, so he's certainly one of the more well-known analysts within our community. And let's just say, very optimistic for the future of XRP. And I certainly am as well, but to be clear, I don't make price predictions here. I don't know if this particular analysis is correct or incorrect. I just think it's interesting and fun to track what analysts within our community and even outside our community have to say about, potential price action for XRP. And over time, it's kind of interesting to see who's right and wrong, who has, generally speaking, the best track record. And so let's go ahead and share this. Piece reads as follows. Dark Defender, a pseudonymous yet notable analyst, recently disclosed that XRP hit a correction target he previously set for the asset. The analyst asserted that XRP is now poised to embark on its next course, which should target from 89 cents to $1.42 in the short term and an ultimate price of $3.47 by year end. And my friends, I understand that when you're trading sideways for some period of time, which feels like forever, and it almost always to many people will feel like forever, it can, when you start talking about prices that are way higher than what the current price is, I get it, it just seems impossible. But it only seems impossible until it happens. Back in the middle of 2018, Bitcoin was about $3,200, and people were calling for it to go down to $2,000 or $1,000. Well, the people that were talking about Bitcoin perhaps hitting about $70,000, well, they got yelled at, didn't they? Like, you're Looney Tunes, it's $3,000 right now. Or the typical comment, well, can we talk about it getting above $5,000 first before we start talking about getting to $70,000 first? How many people say that about XRP? Can we stop talking about XRP $10 and just wait until XRP is at least over $1? Okay, so your arbitrarily set limit there has once it's hit, then we can theorize about a different price. But thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mr. Twitter man. Like, we see these comments all the damn time. But people like the blockchain backer, for example, let's bring him up again because he just has such an incredible hit rate. He's just incredibly accurate. Like, that's my perspective. And he was one of the few that was talking about, for the upcoming cycle, and I don't know exactly when he started talking about it, whether it was 2018 or at some point in 2019, but the point is, before things really started taking off, he's one of the people that said, yeah, I could see it getting in that $70,000, maybe $75,000 range. So it was something somewhere along those lines. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but my recollection is something like that. And then how many other people are saying, no, this cycle, it's going to go to $150,000, $250,000. Well, who was right? And then when Bitcoin did hit its high, and then things started to go back to the downside a little bit. I mean, even before that, blockchain backer said, well, and he's just one of the analysts that I follow that I think makes a lot of sense here. Said, hey, it looks like this is pretty much the tippy top. He said it, and that was against the sage wisdom of the typical analyst out there, and he was right. And so it's interesting to track all of this. But again, all that to just make the point that just because that sounds so far away from where the price is now, when things happen, they happen quickly. And so I'm looking at what the Dark Defender said here, and then I'm thinking about what the blockchain backer recently stated at some point within the last week. I recall him stating that, and it's not a guarantee, but perhaps XRP will go into 30-something cent range, and maybe that will be the bottom. And then the next time we see a big move to the upside, maybe that's the time it rips. And so it's just interesting when you see more and more analysts, who, aren't trash, start to say similar things. That's when I start to pay attention. But, there are only so many analysts that I'm even willing to listen to. Like, just to be honest with you. Some of them, I'm not going to name names, but some of them, they pop up in my feed and Twitter, and I was like, I'm just going to keep scrolling. So that's what it is. But look, things are looking good. We'll see what happens. But keep in mind, like, this is being said, but even with this is taken into account. Even if assuming we get great news regarding the SEC v Ripple case, if that happens, and that's in conjunction with us getting out of bear territory into bull territory, arguably now that could be the perfect storm. So I don't know, like, even if we get positive news and XRP really does get its legal clarity, I don't know if that's going to be the moment that XRP finally hits its new all-time high. But who knows? I mean, we're getting out of bear territory. But it's not the craziest idea, right? Maybe this would be the time. And I don't know that it would burst up there, in a straight line in like a day or two. I mean, think about this too. In 2017, when XRP had its biggest run in history, from about 20 cents up to almost $4, whatever it was, that took about 2.5 weeks. So that is pretty quick. But it kind of puts things in perspective, though, too, doesn't it? Because most of what it is to be a holder in crypto, this is certainly true of XRP, it's sideways or downward price action. And then the big action, the most fun, impressive price action, it happens over a really short period of time. But the rest of the days in the year are nothing like that. And so kudos to you who are still in this and paying attention, because I will tell you this, the vast majority of people who were paying attention during the last bull run 2 years ago are not listening to anything having to do with crypto right now. So kudos to you for paying attention. So let me know what you think. Tell me, it's a fun conversation. I always like these conversations. Because speculation is perfectly reasonable. Even though I personally am not going to make a price prediction, but directionally, what do you think makes sense? What might the timeline roughly be? If you feel like being more bold than I am, because I will not make a price prediction, feel free to drop a comment below. Always love hearing from you, folks. And thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Boone Family Sedan.